Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. In this video, I basically want to continue off of the video that I did previous section, which talked about setting up the Java code and being able to run it properly. In this video, I basically want to talk about what happens if I type in what you didn't see on the screen, or what if I misspelled something, or all those questions that you guys have. In this video, I hope to cover that. Let me go ahead and open the program that we did last time, which is here. Again, this is the program that we did last time. As you can see, it started with public class test. We talked about the reason why we need to have all this in the curly brace. So the first issue I want to talk about is what happens if I misspelled public, for example. Let's say I did like public with a C and I tried to compile it. And right away what you see is that it turned white. And earlier, if it was just public, it turned purple. So let's see what happens. Again, we talked about what this does. This will basically compile your file and check to make sure that there is no specific error, or there's no like big error in your program causing it to crash. So if I go ahead and click this button right here, we can see that the first thing that we've seen that we haven't seen before is that it told us, hey, test.java1 error class interface enum or record expected, meaning something went wrong. And as you can see, if we read the error, you can see it specifically pointed to where exactly that error is. In this case, it's on this public. Maybe something on the P, maybe something happened. And you guys, if you guys are watching this video, you guys obviously know what the issue is. And that's because I spelled public wrong. So it's a really good idea to always compile your code, because it will tell you specifically what type of error that you are facing. And in this case, it's telling me, hey, something went wrong here. Again, the error is not like very too descriptive. It doesn't say like, oh, you misspelled public, or you put an extra space. It just tells you, hey, something went wrong on this line. Go ahead, look into it. And as you can see, if I go back and click public and I recompile it, we can see that my program no longer has the error. Again, this was from a previous error. If you want a new uh, compiler, just click clear and then you recompile it. If that helps you, again, that helps me. I always clear it after every new compile iteration. So that's that. That's just how errors usually occur. If you could compile and like something pops up here, if it doesn't say like these specific lines where it says, okay, the Java file that you have, in this case, test.java operation complete, meaning I didn't find any errors. We can go ahead and look into it more. We can like, what happens if I misplaced this? I said class. You can see it did the exact same thing with the public. It pointed here. It said, okay, class, something went wrong here. Again, that's because I had an S. And what happens if I miss a curly brace? This is like a common mistake I see every single time, people missing curly braces. Let's go ahead and see what happens. Let me clear it. And then if I recompile it, we can see it says reach the end of the file while parsing, meaning we opened up a curly brace, but we never closed it. And as you can see, like the compiler is hinting like something happened with the curly brace, meaning, okay, you have a curly brace, but where is its closing? Like, where is its like brother? Like something that closes it. So that's that issue right there. And every time you have opening curly brace, you always want to close it. We'll talk more about curly braces and why they're useful, but always assume that you always need an opening curly brace and a closing curly brace. And so that's just that. And if I recompile it, we can see it compiled perfectly. And now moving on to the question that I said I will answer in this video. We talked about how it always goes public class and then in this case test. So as I said before, it doesn't always have to be named test. Like the name of your Java class can be named anything that you want. In this case, let me just make it like cookies. Now here's the interesting thing. If I go ahead and compile it, it says error class cookies is public should be declared in a file named cookies.java. Hopefully, if you read that error correctly, it will tell you exactly what needs to be done. And now some of you guys may be saying, "Wow, you lied to us, man! Like, isn't that supposed to? Didn't you say I can name it whatever name I want it to be?" Yes, with the exception. And if you read closely what the error is telling you, it's saying error class cookies is public. It's saying the class is public, should be declared in a file named cookies.java. So here the compiler is actually telling you what actually went wrong. What it's saying is you named your class cookies, but the name of your file is called test.java. So it's saying like, what's going on here? So if you want to have any name that you want to make sure that this name right here matches the name of the Java file. So one thing you could do is you could go open up your folder and just rename the file to cookies.java, or my patent trick is just go here, click file, and then I just say save as, and then you can see. Let me go back to downloads. You can already see like the program is already naming it for me. Provided that I don't have any errors, it will basically give me a default. Uh, it will give me like the name that it should be named as. And if I go ahead and click save, and if I go ahead and clear this, rerun it, we can see, hey, my program compiled, it worked, like there's no issues. Again, I can go ahead and like name this like, I don't know, like floor. I have to do the same thing. Oops. I have to open the curly brace, and I have to do the same thing. If I click this and try to compile, it's not going to work. So I need to actually save it. Let me go ahead and save in my downloads, and let me go ahead and save it. Say save, and as you can see, it saved the class for me, and there's that. So yeah, I hope that you are able to understand this issue of common issues that may occur if you don't type out the exact syntax that I type out. Again, this is some of the errors of the many possible errors that you'll encounter. Part of programming is that you will experience a bunch of errors. And the nice thing about Java is often it will tell you like the first instance that it found an error. If there are multiple errors, it will start with the most recent error and tell you, hey, there's something went wrong here. There's other cases where the errors are like hidden, which we will definitely talk about later on in the course. But hopefully you can see that when you start a Java program, you always name it public class, the name, opening curly brace, closing curly brace, because that's just how the program works. And if you don't, you saw exactly what happened. The program ran into an error, and as well as it wouldn't even let you move on. So that's just that. Uh, Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I will see you for another video. Stay tuned.